Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I got a request to do a reading all about, the question is, how can I find myself again? So that's going to be the focus question on this reading. I pulled my cards and I opened my space and I meditated a little bit on this message. But let's get right into it. So the first card I pulled is going to be the energy card, and this is the Seven of Cups. So with the Seven of Cups, I'm getting a lot of energy around, contemplation, thinking before you make a decision. I don't necessarily get the feeling that there needs to be a decision made right now. I feel like there's going to be a lot of time before these decisions come to light, per se. Like, I feel like a lot of things are in the dark right now. And there does need to be time taken to think about the good and the bad of your situations that are coming up for you. Like thinking twice before you do something. It's also not a time right now to necessarily act. Like, don't get up and like change your whole routine from what you're getting from this reading. It's kind of like a time to sit with yourself and figure out what it is you actually want, what actually is going to bring you closer to feeling like you're in this light space, feeling happier. That's what I'm getting from the dark and the light, like the moon and the sun. I feel like there's a lot of dark energy. There's a lot of things that are kind of like blocking your vision right now because there's some dark energy there and you're moving towards the light. So you're going to have to give yourself time and space in between both the light and the darkness to kind of figure out where to go next. So this is a period of contemplation. This is a period of taking your time, thinking twice before you make a decision, and really considering if you're moving towards the light or if you're kind of like shifting back into a darkness. And then the next card is the Ten of Cups. And with this is kind of in the past position as well. So what I'm getting with the Ten of Cups is that you have previously worked on finding yourself, finding the things that make you happy. You've worked on this before. Like, you've completed a cycle of this in the past. So I feel like you know what to do now. When you're coming asking like, what should I do to help find myself? I feel like you kind of already know, like there's a little bit of an intuition there. Like, maybe I should go back and do some of these things that made me happy before. So this is a positive card. I feel like you kind of like have an up with this on getting, like, helping to find yourself again, because you have went through a cycle. You've completed a cycle of this. So I feel like it's just kind of coming up again in a different way. So you have this to fall back on. So when you are feeling like you don't really know yourself, maybe go back and revisit some of the things that you were doing before, that were making you happy, kind of made you feel complete, kind of made you feel whole. Revisit some of those things because they're still there. They're still within you. And I do feel like it's still like a big part of you. Just maybe you've kind of like lost sight of that part. But it's definitely still there. So keep that in mind. And then we've got the Six of Swords. So with the Six of Swords, I'm getting a lot of energy that there's like it's time to leave something behind. There's something creating darkness, sadness, despair in your life. And I feel like you know it's time to leave it behind, like you've already put it down. Um, and you're kind of searching for this rainbow here. And I feel like this correlates to the things that you used to do. It really correlates with the Ten of Cups. The things that you've tried before, that you've done before, that really made you feel whole emotionally. And I feel like there's a sense of that in the distance. But right now you're kind of just in this place where it's time to just put all the baggage down, the negativity, the things that are really causing you to feel like you lost yourself. It's time to let that go. So it's time to let that fade into the darkness, um, do some healing around this, really like let it go. It's time to put it down. Like that's the message I'm getting now. It's time to put it down. It's time to go to better horizons, find better horizons for yourself. Your rainbow is in the distance. Um, it's within reach, but you first need to get rid of this baggage, this negativity, the things that are bringing you down, weighing you down. You can't bring it with you anymore in order to move forward. And then we've got the Ace of Swords. So with this card, the Ace is a new beginning, but I don't feel like the new beginning's here just yet. I feel like you still need to work through this Seven of Swords energy, kind of release the baggage, release the negativity, like move on from it, like really like put it down and like let it go. So like whatever it is that's causing you to feel like you lost yourself, you really have to work through that first, because the Ace of Swords is in a future position. So in order to get here, you really have to do the work in the present. This card isn't just gonna come up for you, and I would say like out of nowhere. You're really gonna have to like work for it. So and really do that inner work. So with the Ace of Swords, I'm getting like 6 month energy. Like in 6 months, if you like start doing things that really light you up and make you happy and like put down that negativity and kind of like search for better horizons and release some of that toxic negative energy, I feel like the Ace of Swords is going to show up for you. And you see how these swords are black in the Seven of Swords? This sword's white. I feel like the white sword really signifies like a rebirth, a new beginning. With the ace, that is like a new cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. And this is positive. Like I feel like when you start working and doing the things that you love, and finding your hobbies again, and just kind of like you're in like a better space. You found your horizon, you found your rainbow, you're kind of moving forward. I feel like those things are gonna like be entwined within you, and you're not even, it's gonna be like second nature. Like they're just gonna be there, and you're gonna know that that is who you are. It's gonna be like you're what you're searching for right now. Like you're gonna find it. And I feel like there's gonna be like new ideas. There's gonna be a new way of doing these old things that made you happy. You're gonna find a completely new way, because this is a new cycle. You're not gonna be repeating a cycle that you've done before. This is gonna be a new, completely different way of doing, maybe not completely, but this is gonna be a new way of doing these things. There's going to be new perspectives here. There's going to be you're just going to be in a whole new mindset. I feel like if you just keep searching for that rainbow, those things that make you happy, and releasing any of that negativity, like you're really going to find yourself in a new place. And I would say about 6 months, and I'm feeling like summer because of like the lightning bolts. Like I feel like this is like like a summer rainstorm, you're just gonna have like an epiphany and you're gonna be like, oh my God, like I feel like myself again. Um, and this is gonna be a result from you like doing the work, like finding these things that make you happy, like filling up your emotional cup, finding brighter horizons and putting the negativity away. So then we've got, I love this deck because I love working with colors. This is called the Energetics of Color, and we've got buff and we've got trying. So I feel like what I'm feeling with this card is that you do have to try, we all, like every time we do something, we have to try. We can't just like, it's not handed to us. So there is going to be an aspect where you're going to have to like, I'm feeling like this is making me feel kind of like sluggish. Like maybe it's like really hard to get up and do some of the things that you really love. Like there's like a really heavy energy, but once you get up and do them, you are going to find yourself in like a whole new state of mind. From the yellow, I feel like the yellow is like the sun. There's going to be like a new warmth of energy coming through. The sun, we need the sun to live on this planet. And I feel like there's an aspect of like the sun coming out. And with the butterfly, like there's a whole new aspect of you trying to come out too. And when you do try, you're going to have like this whole new aspect come out. And I'm going to read what the card says because I feel like it'll give us more insight. So buff and trying, it says, a clear path may present itself, or you may need to do some damage control in the path you are on. If you are not where you expected to be, or are questioning your direction at this time, trust your intuition because it's showing you how to clean up a mess or a confusing situation. Don't second guess yourself. So I love this. This goes perfectly with this reading. I feel like there is damage control that needs to be picked up. I feel like there is a clear path presenting itself to you, which is the horizon. That goes perfect with the Seven of Swords card. And you are questioning like, what's your direction at this time, where you're this is not where you've been to be, but this is all part of like a growth and a learning experience. This is a new cycle starting. You're kind of letting go of this old cycle, and really don't second guess yourself. Like really use your intuition right now and go towards those things that make you happy, that make you feel like full of life and full of sunshine. And it also says, so it's got physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual in an affirmation. So I'm going to read those to you. So physical says, you have many resources at your fingertips. It's time to start using the lesser frequented options. So maybe in the past you have even like right now, like, so maybe you're here and you're questioning who you are at this time because the things that you normally go to as resources to like kind of get you out of the situation, they're not working anymore. So there's other options out there. I just think you're gonna have to like sit with yourself and think about like different options, and use like the lesser frequented things that you normally would. And only you know what that could mean. That probably means something to you if that's coming up. And then emotional says, without cause, a lost sense of direction. So yes, we do have a lost sense of direction right now. We kind of lost ourselves, and we're looking for ourselves, and we're kind of trying to get back to this emotional place where we feel like we used to know ourselves. We're trying to get back there. So, look for things that make you happy. And then mental, it says, now is not the time for penny pinching. Explore the true meaning of generosity. So perhaps this could mean like helping someone else in need who's kind of going through the same situation. Like maybe you guys could like sit and help each other, or maybe you could like help them with, you've been through a cycle like this before, like maybe help them when you first found yourself in this situation and how you got out of it. Because I feel like this has been something that happened before. I feel like this is a cycle that kind of keeps happening. And then also what I'm getting from this is if there's like a meditation or a yoga class or like something that you really want to do that's going to help you kind of like be in this contemplative state, um maybe like invest in yourself right now. Like invest in something that's going to kind of get you kind of out of this funk, you know? So, don't like hold back on spending a little bit of money. It could help you in the long run. I feel like the universe is really like on your side right now with that. And the affirmation is, I let go of the struggle and I choose a life filled with ease and grace. So while you're going through this journey right now, this cycle, I'd really return to this affirmation. I'm going to put it in the caption so you have it. It'll really help you at this time. And then this is funny. When I pulled this, I thought it was perfect because the Seven of Cups is exactly this. Meditate and contemplate. And there's a new moon in Pisces here. So I feel like there's a lot of like emotional energy, which also goes along with the cups. It's like a mental, emotional struggle right now. Like we've got the swords and the cups. So there's kind of like a mental, emotional struggle. This is like I struggle within, and it's really coming out in the cards. And with this new moon, I feel like, so the new moon in Pisces is the last moon of the lunar year. So it's there's an end to a cycle, but you still have to go through this phase, this moon cycle. But this is the last one. So I feel like this is kind of like the end of this cycle, but you still have to work through this Seven of Swords energy, letting go of the negativity. You kind of have to contemplate on yourself, kind of like move within, kind of, be quiet the mind, find time for yourself, and really spend time in this energy during this cycle, the next like 28 days. And it'll really help you like find out that question that you're asking, like, how can I find myself again? So I'm going to read the book for this one, New Moon in Pisces. So it says, this card speaks of dreams and romance, of soulmates and poetry. It suggests that there's a new start coming your way that's connected to a matter that leaves you feeling somewhere between having your head in the clouds and being in a totally altered state. There could be confusion and disappointment, if that's what you've had before and that's what you're expecting. However, if you're onto a good thing, then wish hard, because the words of your soul and your heart could help bring about the manifestation of your dreams. If all that sounds a little too wet and watery, then that's Pisces for you. This is the last sign of the zodiac, and the new moon in Pisces card suggests a last-ditch chance to make your dreams come true. So it says, attune to the moon. Use your feelings to guide the way. Logic won't work right now. So that's a lot like going within, contemplating, meditating, listening to your heart. It says, additional meanings for this card. Face your fears. They may be holding you back. It also says the situation is being healed. And it's a time to surrender to the divine. It says, chant Om, Namo, Narayani. And then it says, avoid being deceptive or willingly deceived. So I think what that kind of means is, listen to your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right for you right now. And it says the teaching. Pisces is a sign of reveries and mysteries, or depths of emotion, idealism, and hopeless romantics. It is a sign of water in the unconscious. Its energy is deep like watery depths. The new moon in Pisces indicates a time to listen to your feelings and to allow your emotions to run free rein. Whatever you're feeling as you pull this card is more than likely the truth, unless you've been kidding yourself somehow, and only you know if that's the case or not. So really encouraging you to just go within, take some time out for yourself, Do some journaling, meditating. If you have a yoga practice, start doing that. Um, Kind of like find time to just be with yourself and to ask yourself these questions and um who am I? Like ask yourself these questions and like kind of dream of like who could I be? Like I feel like all these cups here represent like questions that you could be asking. They don't necessarily have to be options. They're just like it's like dreaming, like having your head in the clouds, like you're thinking about who do I want to be? Like what would happen if I let go of all this baggage? What could be? So that kind of energy is going on here. So really find time to go within and be with yourself. And then we've got opening to discovery. So I feel like you have the key already. Like you already know what you're supposed to do. You're just kind of like you need that extra push. So let me read this card. I have something I want to say, but I want to see what this says first. Okay, opening to discovery, key concepts. The small bits of data you collect from the world to form ideas, the transfer of vital information via the universe, always speaking to you, the need to integrate information and be discerning about what you expose yourself to. So it's the little thing at the beginning. So here's what it says. We tune into information from our outer environment, then assign meaning to it within our psyches. Every day, however, the amount of data we sort through exceeds what we're capable of processing. Especially since the advent of the internet, we have been bombarded with more than we could ever hope to absorb. Therefore, it's important to be mindful of what we expose ourselves to. Consistent exposure to unhealthy messaging invites us into a cynical, fear-based worldview. On the other hand, conscious exposure to information supporting our well-being shifts us towards growth and expansion. The choice, though, is not always obviously ours, which is why we must be discerning on a daily basis. The universe is always engaging us. We are part of it after all, through synchronicity, omens, and other signs that point towards our best path. Our intuition helps tune in and see our environment like an oracle. However, this new information doesn't always make sense right away, so being curious and non-resistant is key to learning. Today, be open to receiving important information that may come from an unusual source. The universe wants to help you, but recognizing the way this aid will arrive depends on your willingness to shut out superfluous noise. Maybe you need to take a break from social media, gossip, or the news. Don't let yourself get distracted. Listen without attachment and see what arises in your life. Expect a message from the universe and you shall have it. So, what I'm getting from this is with like exposing yourself, like going on social media and seeing like things about like negativity and maybe like I don't know, but I'm kind of getting from this is like when we expose ourselves every day to something that doesn't really feel good, but we do it anyway, is kind of like what's going on here. I feel like that's part of the reason why you maybe have lost yourself. I feel like I know for me, like when I open social media, I do it out of habit and I go on there and I just feel drained after scrolling through social media. I'm like, why did I just do that for an hour when I could have been like sitting and meditating? Um, this isn't good for me. I don't even know why I go on there. I'm not even like looking at anything important. So I feel like this is kind of a message about that because that's really what I'm getting from this. And I'm also getting I got this feeling at the beginning when I pulled the opening to discovery card is that when I talked about like your past things that you were doing to make yourself happy, I feel like you're going to kind of go back and look at those things and there's gonna be like new keys, like new doors opening when you kind of revisit the things that you like, I feel like it's not going to look the same as it looked before. And I said that, I think, earlier in the reading. When you go revisit those things that made you happy, like maybe you had a yoga practice or you did like some kind of like activity, like a sport, like, or exercise, or like, I don't know, like reading. When you get back into it, it's going to kind of look a little different. And that's okay. That's part of this card. Like, you're going to be opening new doors. You're going to be discovering new things about yourself that you didn't realize were there, because you've done a lot of growing, and you're going to be like contemplating at this time. You're going to be like you're going to find yourself in a different kind of shifting to a new mindset. And then we've got, all right, and then we've got fuchsia and feldspar. So I love these cards because not only is it a color, it gives us a crystal as well. So I'm going to go ahead and read what this says from the guidebook, because these ones are pretty long. Okay, fuchsia and feldspar. It says inner child, innocence, self-awareness, earth, and air. So fuchsia. Fuchsia speaks, I cannot tell you what to do or where to go from here. Weary travelers on life's path find my energy when they need to break free, when they need a moment of quiet communion with their heart. I herald a long-awaited transformation, so see me as a symbol of hope and cherish me in your heart's deepest chamber. I love that for this reading. It says, the fae that dance around me know that my keys of life hold the blueprint of the divine child, and so I help you go back to a state of innocence and connection to the maiden aspect of the goddess within you. I offer you the pink ray of love and the violet ray of transmutation to call up and transmute long repressed emotional baggage from this life. Let us focus on this life and be with your inner child now, sitting with her and giving her space to be seen. And it says, no one but you can love you in the ways you need. We look for love outside of us when it reigns supreme within us. It's time to build a relationship of trust with yourself, your body, and your feelings. Accept this gift of the fuchsia from the fae as a token of unconditional love. Place it in your body wherever you need it and allow it to rain down on you as pink rain as your body soaks it up. So I love that. So I feel like we're in a state of like despair, sadness. We don't know what to go from here. We're asking, how can I find myself again? And this is really saying, like, the universe is giving you love. Hold it in your heart. Know that you know how to love yourself unconditionally, and really like go out and do that. Like, do things that make you feel loved for yourself, and really like go do that like inner child work and discover like what maybe you're going to discover something that you didn't even realize needs to be healed from your inner child. And then it says feldspar. So fuchsia wanted to pair with feldspar, which is a mineral on its own, but also the name of a family of silicates that include amazonite, labradorite, larvikite, moonstone, and sunstone. Not content with just one crystal, the fairies wink at me. They wish to bring you the support of many, showing you that you are supported at this time of change. If you feel hard to cope at the moment or are overwhelmed, sink into the energy of this card. You are the divine child receiving the healing light. Feldspar will help you see things in a positive light and increase your self-esteem. Its medicine will help support you through heart transitions. It supports self-awareness and encourages self-love to flourish and bloom within you like a fuchsia bud opening. So this is perfect. I feel like that card kind of like explains itself. I love it. I love that there's a lot of healing energy in this card. There's a lot of support in this card. It just feels really good. And then, so I wanted to pull a card for your spirit animal that's going to be guiding you on this path, but two fell out. And I did kind of look at this earlier. I just wanted to get an idea and kind of meditate on it. And it makes perfect sense that both of these fell out of the deck at this time. I love that it's yellow, like the sunshine in this card. And I love that there's yellow here, like there's a new sun coming up. It's a new day, and it all starts with this golden egg. So I'm gonna read to you what each of these cards are. Okay, so the golden egg, I'm gonna read that one first. It says, message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned, until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. There's that word again. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires being intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell, like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. And it says the golden egg in the fourth chakra. The subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center at the fourth chakra. This chakra, called Anahata, is the home of the self or the soul. Bringing the mind into the center, we discover a portal into the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation, waiting for us. Anahata translates as the unstruck sound. So I really love that this is here, because I feel like not only do you have your spirit animal here with you, you also, I feel like you have your spirit guides, and as well as your intuition. That inner guide in your heart is really coming forward and saying, hey, it's time to like take some time out, some peace and quiet from your life. Like let go of, the outside distractions, the social media, other people, and really like go deep within and listen to yourself. Really give yourself that time to be with yourself, feel your essence, get attuned to your energy again, because I feel like maybe there's a lot of outside influence affecting your energy at this time where you're thinking like, how can I find myself again? Like, go within. That is the ultimate message here. I'm going to read the beaver now. If I can find it. Okay, so it says, beaver, hard worker, loyal, tireless, family first. It says the beaver personality is a welcome sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and expresses it by the way of the earth element. And it says in parentheses, like providing a home, financial stability. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga. And then in parentheses, it says selfless service. So there's that selfless service again, karma coming through. One of these cards said something about, being selfless and like, that's coming through again. So maybe like helping others is going to help you kind of help find yourself as well. And I feel like I love this because I feel like the beaver for you is a card, is a spirit animal that is going to follow you throughout life. They're there to remind you that, you're going to go through these cycles where you're going to lose yourself, but you can always go back to, the things that you figured out in the last cycle that worked for you. And you could kind of like go back and revisit and then open new doors. It's all about coming home to your heart again when you feel lost in this cycle. Um, I feel like this is kind of like part of your life's work, why you're put on this planet to just kind of like, and it might seem like you're kind of like keep losing yourself, but the reason you keep losing yourself is because you're discovering, you're learning, and you're growing, and that's what you're doing. And through this, there may be some things that aren't working out, but that's the beauty of it. It's not working out because and you're gonna find that it's not working out, and it's gonna be time to let it go. And you're gonna kind of feel like you lost yourself because you're kind of like, well, why was I doing that for so long? Well, it's all part of growing. It's all part of becoming like who you are meant to be on this planet, what you came here to do, your life's work. And I feel like the beaver is coming forward to say right now, like it says, although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. I feel like it's giving you the inspiration and the guidance to start a project right now. Like start something that's going to make you feel better. I'm kind of getting like, if you wanted to like paint your kitchen, like maybe paint your kitchen like a color that you love. Start a project, like maybe start like researching and like doing like a passion project and just kind of get started and just start there. Because once you start and you feel that energy come back to you flowing in your heart, you're going to want to keep going. And the beaver's going to be there right alongside you throughout that whole process. And like I said earlier, I feel like the whole essence of this reading is really like coming home to yourself, coming home to your heart, really contemplating, find your energy again, like be in the energy of your heart. Just continue to do the things that you love, and that will really get you out of this funk. Really release that negativity and that toxicity in your life, the loud noise that doesn't need to be there, and listen to your intuition. Let it guide you. Know that you're being healed right now, that this is kind of like the end of a phase. You just got to really try to work through this, and you will. I feel like you're going to come out of this in like 6 months, and you're going to find like that inspiration, that like, what's the word? Like really find, like pick up your sword. You're going to be like, I want to say inspired. You're going to be like, okay, the word is, okay, so I figured out. Okay, so the word is empowered. So I feel like you're going to be really empowered. You're going to pick up your sword. You're going to be inspired, empowered. And then the things that you're going to find on this discovery journey is really going to just like wrap around you like that infinity symbol, and it's going to be with you forever. So this is a really important part of your journey. So really don't like skimp over this or try to rush it. Really take like the next 28 days to really detoxify and contemplate, and like maybe get into like a meditation and do something every day that is for yourself, by yourself, away from the noise. Maybe journal, do something like that. And within the next like 6 months, I feel like you're really going to be finding yourself again. You're really going to be empowered, inspired. You're going to feel the sunshine again. Just know that you're healing right now, and this is all part of the process. This is all part of the journey. And I am really excited for you. I really hope that this reading helped, you discover that you already know yourself. It's just, you know, it's going to take work, and that's all about life. You know, that's life. Like, that's how life goes, you know, and really be like inspired by that. So I wish you all the luck and all the healing. I send positive vibes. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and leave your comments below if you have any comments, and I will see you in the next video.